Hold on.
It is a top. Ooh, that's a good
You know what I
idea.
mean?
Oh,
Like that.
I cannot wait to be able to do anything to my face.
Do you know what I'm saying? Your face is perfect.
I look I look young
and
every day.
by the way-
my face gets younger and younger.
Also, like, why is that a bad thing?
It's perfect.
We're-
Aging is so beautiful.
It's
I
natural.
love and
I love
embrace
it.
age.
Embrace
It's easy.
Like, honestly,
We're not
I
gonna-
just love, I embrace my
Age.
age and I embrace aging.
I love aging. It's amazing.
Aging naturally, like, just age gracefully. You know?
Yeah.
Why are we all out
Why
here
are we
trying
all
to be
trying to be
21?
like LA? Yeah. I'm not 21.
Literally. I
47.
am a woman.
Look at this.
And
This
I'm
is 47.
natural and I embrace it.
Eh.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I mean?
Not enough people are
They're not
embracing
their
age.
age.
They're
It's
trying
like
to
we
be
are women
teenagers.
and we age, and,
And
it's
that's
just
part of
embrace it.
life.
It is part of life.
It's part of, yeah.
People just don't
They
let
don't.
themselves be.
No.
It's just like stop going to the salon,
Salons.
stop
Stop
spending the
getting
money.
Botox.
It's a
I would
waste.
never do that.
I would never get Botox.
How could you put foreign objects in
Yeah,
your
that
face?
is unhealthy.
People they can't even talk
It's
normally.
unhealthy. Should we get
Yeah.
tacos for lunch?
Yeah.
With
Too many
cheese
carbs.
and meats and just lots
Too
of
many carbs.
too many carbs.
Wait, let's just.
You look so stunning.
You do.
You don't have to just
Don't
receive it.
No.
Just hold on. Let's
The dress is $10.
No. Let's start over. You look so
a
stunning.
whore.
Receive it. Receive it. You look so
My
stunning.
tits look like flapjacks.
No. Come on, man.
You look gorgeous. You look beautiful.
I don't believe you even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
But see, that's
You're
really
full
sad
of-
to me. That's really sad to me.
Well, I'm
that's
sad.
really, really sad.
Well, I'm sad.
No,
I'm sorry,
come
but
on.
I
right
know
now affirmation. I am beautiful. I am say it, feel it. You too, viewer. Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I can do it alone.
No.
I think it's harder if I'm looking at stunning.
Oh.
Because then I'm like, ooh.
Whoa, dude. I mean, I love the compliment, but like that's so crazy.
I feel like
'cause
you
you're
get
like
more beautiful every time I see you.
That's not even true.
It's true.
It's true. We're getting more beautiful every day.
You
in
are,
every way.
for sure.
Do I have pit stains?
No, well,
A little
they're
bit.
coming in.
They're coming in hot.
I have itchy armpits.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. I'm coming in hot.
Wait, so you had a baby.
Yeah. No more baby in here.
Girl.
I know.
Girl.
3 weeks ago. He's 3 weeks.
I met him the other day. River.
Yesterday.
Wait, middle name.
No, was it yesterday? Khan, K-A-N.
Khan.
King from It's Turkish for king. King of kings, actually. Not even just king. King of kings.
River Khan.
He's a quarter Turkish. River Khan Carlson.
That's a strong name.
I think so. Because
And
river
he's-
could be flowing, but then it's like boom, boom.
Yeah.
So it's really,
Oh my God. He's so beautiful.
oh, really?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Because there's some busted ass babies out
thank you.
there. You know,
Yeah, there are.
there's some busted ass babies who also,
But
even if
a
they're
lot of them
busted-
change.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
But
always
also,
changing.
Ugly babies are cute too.
Yeah.
They're all cute
Well,
because
they're
they're
all
tiny.
cute, yeah. They're also small.
Yeah.
I can't believe how small he is every day. Like
He's
10 times a day, I'm like, he's so small.
Tiny.
His little head.
Oh my God.
How do they, and then they look up at you. And he goes like this.
Oh yeah. He's full of facial. He's very expressive, and he does his little frown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
His lip quivers. He goes,
Because he was just in there for 9 months.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
all warm and didn't have
Gooey.
to move.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
and then he's like out in this big world. That's
Yeah.
a lot. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay, shut up. How are you feeling?
Well, what part? Like, I could answer that 18 different ways.
How do you feel compelled to answer it?
In
How-
the order
That I
of
asked?
which you
Okay,
asked.
okay. Terrible interviewer. Mentally.
Mentally.
Emotionally, physically, spiritually?
Which one? Those are all different answers.
Okay, how do you feel mentally?
I feel
Titties.
like I'm not achieving anything other than being a mother, which is a lot, and I'm grateful for it, and I love and I'm gratitude that he's alive and healthy, and that part of me feels really fulfilled, like I accomplished something that was a dream of mine since I was a little girl. Like I wanted to become a mother, and that part is very fulfilled, and I feel like and then there's the achievement side of me that's like, I'm not doing anything. I should be making content. I should have been touring stand-up 10 years ago. Everybody's just hustling, and I'm just like sitting around my apartment all day.
Like,
And that doesn't make me feel like I'm enough.
whoa.
So it's like there's two sides. And then spiritually, I feel pretty aligned because I'm in meditative state most of the time, just like breastfeeding him and looking at him. So like
Totally.
spiritually, I feel very connected.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah. That's great.
That's great. Physically, not bad for 3 weeks. I mean,
Really?
I feel okay. I'm not in any pain anymore. I'm able to like walk. I'm not gonna
Wow.
like work out yet, but
You were like twerking last week.
yeah,
man.
at the Super Bowl. Not at.
You weren't at the Super Bowl, but you were watching the Super Bowl and like aggressively twerking to Usher. I saw.
Well, when you
I
hear
saw you.
music, it brings out energy that you can't help.
Were you in a
I
diaper
don't have a
during
choice.
that twerk?
No, but
Okay.
a pad. I stopped the diapers because it gave my butt a rash. Not a rash, bumps.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Wow. You stopped wearing diapers
It
because
gave me
it
bumps.
gave you a rash on
So
your
I
back?
just switched to pads.
Okay.
Little known fact, women bleed for like weeks after.
Because they have a wound inside of them the size of a dinner plate.
And their uterus is going back to the original size.
Little fun fact.
And so you just bleed every day.
For weeks and weeks.
And
a
so I
miracle.
feel pretty good. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Childbirth,
Childbirth
birthing,
is
what
a
the body
miracle.
does. It's a miracle.
Absolute miracle.
Beautiful
Did you shit on the
miracle.
doctor?
I don't know.
I did.
I asked Johnny
I did.
if
Miracle.
he said some
The
shit
miracle
came
of
out, but I don't know where it landed.
Really? Didn't land on the doctor.
I don't know. I wasn't.
But there
I
was a
wasn't
little,
there.
there was a little poopy. You were there. Oh, you were there.
Well, I was there, but I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I was in
You
trauma.
weren't near your anus. Right,
I
right.
was in full blown trauma response.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Take me through it.
No. Sorry. No.
Because,
Yeah.
oh my God, like it is traumatic. Do you feel
If there was a word, what's bigger than trauma? Like, what's more
that's
intense than trauma?
I know. Death?
Because I think we
Death?
use that
Death?
word. Okay, so it's death. No, but death even seems more peaceful. 'cause
Doesn't it?
It's quick.
Doesn't
you
it?
go.
Doesn't it? I
and
wish
your
I died.
energy
Yeah.
transition to wherever it's going.
Right.
Because energy can't die.
Yeah.
So whatever energy's in the body goes somewhere else, which I've heard is blissful. DMT releases, like
Yeah.
what?
That
so
sounds
it's
nice.
not. Yeah, it's not
Compared
death.
to labor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I'll die 1,000 times
100%.
instead of whatever. Okay, first of all, why do we say trauma so much? No one's experiencing trauma up until birth.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I'm
Post birth,
sorry.
you're like, never
Anything-
mind.
Yeah, never mind. I've never been through trauma.
None of you're like, one time my dad yelled. Nope.
Yeah,
That's not
yell
trauma.
at me, Dad. Do it.
Yell at
I'd
me.
rather
Punch me in the
I'd
face, Dad.
Yeah, literally.
'Cause
I
that's
wish my dad
nothing.
would hit me.
I wish my father
My
would
father
punch
would
me
hit
in the
me.
face.
I wish my husband would hit me.
I
My
wish
kid,
my
anyone
kid
would hit
me
me.
in the vag.
Just
Just
hit me.
anything.
It's like the.
That's trauma.
Yeah.
That's not trauma.
That's nothing.
Nothing. That's nothing.
I'll take all of that. I'll take being
take it.
bullied in middle school again.
Yeah.
I'll take my ex-husband cheating on me
None of
1,000
it.
times.
Boring.
Bring it on.
Shoo, 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 shoo. Literally.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to the trauma of childbirth. So let's.
So anyway.
So take me through.
So it's the day. Yeah. I
your
go to the
40
doctor.
weeks.
40 weeks, 4 days. Go to the doctor.
Why'd you go to the doctor?
Because
40
I had an
weeks, 4 days.
appointment.
Okay.
I had an appointment.
All right.
And they were like, we're going to just do a stress test. We're
Okay.
gonna do a stress test. They do the thing. They monitor the heart. They're like, everything looks great.
And you were like, but I'm stressed.
Well, I
And they
wasn't
were like,
stressed.
it's not that kind of stress test.
Yeah.
But okay, so you did a stress test.
Sure. Or the baby was getting stressed.
Oh.
Tested.
Okay. And they said it was good. Baby's good.
I didn't know it was going to cost me $500.
Oh my God, get out of here.
I thought I was just going. Whatever.
That's a whole nother
I can't
podcast.
take
Fucking health system.
horrible. Oh, if you if
don't.
you even
Don't.
knew, can I just tell you, I was with an insurance company that on December 31st decided we're leaving California, so you don't have insurance. And I go, well, I'm giving birth, so I'm not going to have insurance. So I had to scramble to find new insurance that covered my hospital and doctor. So I found one, and it didn't cover the birth really. When if I would have just picked a different insurance, it would have been like $300 a night, but instead it was thousands of dollars of
That
wasted
you have to
money.
pay?
Yeah.
We need a GoFundMe.
Oh,
Wait.
I'd be so.
Thousands of dollars? Are you serious?
Oh, honey, I'm so angry. I'm so angry, and I feel like it's my fault because I didn't pick the good insurance because they took it away from me. And so I was like, well, I only have 3 weeks and I'm pregnant. I have to find insurance.
All right.
And I picked the wrong one, I guess.
All right. This is a lot. This is a lot. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Payment plans. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Stress test. Let's go back to there. That's up though. That's up.
It's should fix it.
Hate
They
it.
should prorate
hate
and
that.
say, oh, this isn't like.
I hate it.
Let's switch.
Hate it. Redbird.
Stress test. They measure my
Yep.
fluid. They're like, your fluid's low. You could be leaking.
Meaning part of your water,
Water could be breaking.
Slowly breaking.
And honestly, I should have just said, well, I'm not leaking. Because the doctor said it in a way where I was like, maybe I am leaking. And that just shows like I didn't know my own truth. But I was like, am I leaking? I mean, yeah, I could be leaking. Rather than like,
Wouldn't
I'm not
I
leaking.
know if I was leaking?
Yeah, but
Presumably,
I guess I
if-
didn't know.
If I was leaking, there'd be
Water.
leakage
Yeah.
in
But
your.
for some reason, just the fact of like you could be leaking and his fluid could be going into his lungs. We want to induce you today. And I
Okay.
was like, what? That was not part of my plan.
You went in for the stress test. They said you may be leaking because his
Your
fluid
fluid.
is slightly low.
Yeah. Which happens at 36 weeks. The
Okay.
fluid does drop.
Okay.
But I
so
didn't
it's
really
normal.
know that much.
Okay.
Okay.
So they were like, you need to be induced today.
Yeah.
That's big.
And I was like, I don't love that. And they're
Okay.
like, well, you got to be safe for the baby.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in a couple hours. I was like, a couple? When's the latest I could come? They're like, 5? So we went in at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Because I was just like, I got to go home and get into labor naturally ASAP. So I had spicy chips.
Spicy
Didn't do
chips.
it. Didn't.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So we went in and they induced me with Cytotec, which is the tamest drug for inducing. It's not Pitocin, it's not the balloon. It's a pill behind the tooth every 4 hours, 6 times. I did 2. I was in labor. My contractions went from, I guess, 0 to 100 in milliseconds, and it was every 2 minutes and hours of screaming pain, wanting to die. Yeah, I really was like, I was like this, eyes in the back of my head. Johnny says, couldn't do it. Doula never came. I was alone with Johnny, and he's pushing on my hips for hours at a time. We go in the shower. That kind of helps. And then by 7 a.m., I'm screaming for the epidural. Takes up until about 10:30 for the epidural to finally come to me. That changed everything. That was easier. Then they
The
broke
relief. Let's go through that for a minute. Just the relief of that.
just to stop the feeling of those contractions. I had no idea what I was in for.
Dude, you just don't, like, we can't.
How can we know?
And I'm kind of like, all these moms out there, why didn't you tell me? The
They did. You know
extent.
what? They did, though. And
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
ignored
yeah.
them. I got to be honest. Like, they were like, it's the hardest, worst pain you'll ever, and because I'm such a power of the mind person, I was like, not me.
Not for me. I'm going to have an orgasmic birth.
I'm going to have an orgasmic birth because I've heard women do that. I am a hypno person, and so I'm going to do hypnobirthing. I'm just going to welcome the pain and not resist it.
Welcome the contraction.
Didn't work. None of that worked.
Welcome that turned into you becoming Satan.
Satan.
What? How would
Well,
you
not Satan. Oddly enough, I wasn't one of those girls that were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. No, it was just like,
Yeah.
I just looked like I was in,
Same. Did you scream?
I was,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
like for hours.
Same.
Because
Same.
I don't know. No, I didn't know how to breathe.
Like-
I didn't take a Lamaze class because I was like, my doula's going to tell me how to do everything when she's here.
Oh,
And she wasn't there.
How would you describe the contractions?
I don't even know.
Like a zombie chomping through your uterus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like two zombies at once chewing my entire midsection.
Yeah, one of them's chewing with the other one's just kicking you.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like worse.
But worse.
But way worse.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe that
Like,
pain.
you want to say period pains, but
It's not that.
like times a trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
every 2 minutes,
That's
It's
too
a-
soon.
it's a lot.
You need
and,
time to restore.
and so you went from like taking the
Side attack.
miso soup.
Miso soup.
They call it miso, right?
Miso.
They
soup.
call it miso.
They do.
It's miso soup.
one or the
So,
other.
so you had a few bowls of miso,
Miso soup
and then you were
and
in
that.
full contractions like right away. They didn't ease in. It was just like boom, 0 to 100.
Yeah.
So okay, so then that went on for 9 hours, or no?
More or less.
Oh my god.
I would say like 1 to 10. 30.
Yeah. That's wild. And then would they check you? They check your cervix to see how
Yeah, and they
dilated
go,
you
you're
are?
2.
They're just high-fiving your cervix every 5
they're like,
minutes.
You're 2 to 3 centimeters at this point. I went, okay, then I definitely need the epidural because I'm not doing this for not even another moment. I'm pissed off. I mean, as a woman, you know that when you're in that much pain and they're checking your cervix and you're not at a 10, it's the most disappointing news.
Even if you're not at a 6,
Yeah, it
like
sucks.
the fact that it's 9 hours passing and you're still at a 2 or a 3, I do
the
not
worst.
like. I don't know how you last that long. First of all, and second of all, to be at a 2 or a 3 could feel really discouraging. Like, what was all that for? Why?
Yeah, what was all that for?
Though I do hear some stories of like, they're at a 2 or a 3 for hours and hours, and then boom, it goes from a 3 to a 9. That's
Within an
sometimes-
hour? Sure.
Hear all sorts of
I
shit.
know. It's
just-
really not one size fits all, huh?
Yes.
It really isn't.
Yes.
And you hear other people, like Seth Meyers' wife had it in the lobby because they couldn't make it to the hospital because it was that fast. So I was just like assuming like that'll be me.
Yeah.
Knowing me and how I like things done quickly.
Yeah.
And maybe it would have had I not been induced. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to just like let that go
Yeah.
because I like a lot of moms also go through is like they kind of obsess about the birth story in the
Yes.
beginning of like I really wanted it to go this way
Yep.
and it didn't and if
Yep.
only I would have and it's just like not helpful.
I
Because
agree.
it's done. It's over.
I know. I went through the same thing with Poppy. They induced me with Poppy. And we were talking about this the other
It's
day.
a
that-
similar story.
Dude, yes. And like, I just find it really odd. And maybe the women watching or listening can comment on this, on your experience with giving birth. But like, most of my friends who are in really good health and didn't have a high risk pregnancy have been induced.
That's weird.
Like, literally 90% of them
Wow.
are induced. And I'm just like, why is that the standard? Like, I'm just confused because it's like you hear, oh, baby knows when they're ready and when they want to come out. Why are we all being pushed to be induced? I understand, like, okay, there's a risk of leaking or infection, but I just wonder, like, is it being overdone? Is there some other incentive or reason
I'm
why?
just-
I'm
I
just
don't know.
genuinely curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have a protocol at the hospital that if your fluid is under 5, they have to recommend induction.
Because if they don't, then they're liable.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that that's what it is, that they have protocols and that it's like not an emotional, intuitive thing.
Yeah.
It's these are the numbers and that's that. And it's like,
Yeah.
sure, I could have said, I'll take the night off and go in tomorrow. Or because I'm 40, I knew some people had their baby at 42 weeks.
Yeah.
And then if I would have waited there, would have been 9 pounds. And could I have that actually gotten out? Would have resulted in a C-section?
Sure.
Which I guess we're beating it to the punch. It did not lead to a C-section.
But let's go. I wanted to ask you another thing. So you said your doula was not
There.
there.
No.
Yeah.
The doula never came. That's what you wanted to talk about?
Yes.
Well, because she has a protocol, I only come at 6 centimeters. And I was like, okay, well, I just suffered for 9 hours.
Weird.
Excruciating trauma. So
Weird. But like, let's
where are
talk about
you?
that.
it pissed
protocol.
me off. Yeah, it's not a good one. It's
But
not
wait.
one I would really aspire to moving forward.
Did you know about the protocol?
Yeah. Well, I knew
But
it-
you had
here's-
never given birth before, so you didn't really know.
No, here's what I knew about the protocol.
I feel like she's taking advantage of a new mom. Because the second time mom would have been like, no to that protocol.
Okay. The protocol was in place when we were laboring at home.
Let's talk about this protocol.
I think the protocol goes out the window when you're being induced.
The protocol does?
The protocol. So her protocol, she shared it with me 2 months prior when she was at our house, and she was like, okay, so you'll labor at home because the first 15 hours, you know, it's not active labor yet. And so once you're in active labor and you're around 6 centimeters, then I come, because prior to that, you're just kind of in the house. The contractions are very far apart. And so I think for her, it was like, why be there?
Okay.
But when you know I'm getting induced,
Yeah.
which you did, you should know, oh, she's about to be in so much pain. Protocol out the window. I got to get there and be there for her. Right?
Literally.
Because I'm not the expert. I've never done this before. So I don't know what's happening. So maybe you should lead the way, doula, that I'm paying thousands of dollars for.
For real. And so
She still hasn't refunded me for not being there on game day. And I don't think she will. She doesn't want to.
y'all
I'm
have been
upset.
beefing it up over text,
Yeah,
right?
I'm pissed. And I'm trying to be so nice. But like, I'm saying, like, I feel really sad. I feel like, you know, like, just please give me my money back. Because I'm not asking for it all, but like, you weren't there.
That was
so like, why are you
why
keeping
you
the money?
hired- yeah.
It's weird to me.
Yeah.
I would feel so weird. I'd be like, you know, here's some money. I want like the energy
Totally.
to feel good. And obviously I wasn't there when you were suffering for 9 hours, putting you in positions, massaging you like I promised. Like, that was why I hired her, because I was like excited for the massages and for her to help me with breathing techniques and positions. And that didn't happen. So
Now, when you found out you were being induced, and then then you text her or called her, or Johnny did.
well, first she said, you don't need to go to the hospital. You can stay the night at home and see how you feel tomorrow.
That was her recommendation.
Yeah. Which, it's not terrible.
I also
It's
had the
fine.
same thing with Poppy.
Yeah.
The doctor, I went in, doctor's like, your water broke. Some of it, there's like 2 parts to the water, top part, bottom part. And the like top or the bottom, whatever, part of the bag broke. And so, but it was just slowly leaking. And the doula was like, you're fine, wait
I mean, if your
24
bag
hours.
did break, that's better than mine having not broke.
Right.
So like, you were actually leaking.
Yeah. But then they induced me, which made it so insane and unbearable. And they gave me Pitocin. And so it was just like I had an IV putting Pitocin in me while I'm trying to labor without pain medication for hours and hours and hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But this is not about me. So
Yeah, this is about
you.
me.
And so I want to know, when you called her and said I'm being induced, she said, I don't think you should, but you said, well, I'm going to.
Yeah,
This is what was
we
recommended.
talked right before I went into the hospital that night.
And I get it. God forbid anything happen. And then
Yeah.
you have that on your conscience. Yeah. So it's like, I get it. And I think most women feel that way. Even if part of them is
If
like,
the doctor is saying your baby the lungs could be filling with fluid and lead to infection, I'm like, I'm gonna stay home.
yeah, I think I'm going to stay and watch.
I'm willing to risk
watch
that
Mad TV.
for my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So, okay. But then when you told her, no, well, I'm actually getting induced, at that point, she
She said, okay, keep in touch.
and then she was like, protocol.
No. She didn't say it like that.
Keep in touch.
He was saying she's screaming, she's in pain. I feel like at that point, then she goes, okay, I'm going to come. But she didn't. because she kept asking about the centimeters, and like he was describing everything that happened. I guess he could have been like, where, like, can you come now? But I don't remember what happened actually.
Yeah.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
The point is, she didn't come. Did Johnny step up?
Yeah, of course.
How was that?
He was amazing.
Wow.
He was incredible.
Whoa.
Thank God the nurse was like, put your hands on her hips when she's having a contraction, and that it didn't help, but like it helped, right? Like, you know, the feeling
Didn't
of like,
do
it's
Yeah.
something, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
So he did that. He just held me. He tried to massage. He tried to do all the things that the doula would be doing, and he killed it. I mean, nothing worked, but like he held the space really well.
He killed it. It made no difference.
Yeah.
But he killed it.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't like, I don't know what to do. He's not screaming. You know, he was just like present with it.
And then you like made your way into the shower, which is like, I did that too. It's like, yeah, it's helpful, but it's still horrific. You're just
Yeah.
like in pain in the shower. I guess like the hot water is a weird distraction a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
I felt warm in the midst of the excruciating pain.
Okay, so then what?
So then eventually got the epidural.
And that was
Thank
like
God, because
bliss.
the anesthesiologist was going into surgery, so they weren't available. So then this other guy came from home. Which I found out later he came from home to do it.
Wow.
So at 10:30 a.m. on the 24th, the epidural hit, and it was really nice. And my personality was back, and I was like, hey, that woman you met before, like to the nurses, I don't know who that was, but this is who I really am. I'm pleasant, and I'm nice, and I'm funny,
Yeah.
and thank you for being here. But before that, I don't know
Literally.
who that was.
I know.
I've never met her before.
I know. And I never want to see her again.
Ever. I mean, God bless her,
Yeah.
but be gone.
Be gone. So okay.
So then
now you're
we
chilling.
were
You
still
can't now were you
communicating.
fully numb?
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't move my legs.
Yeah.
That is a whole other experience where you're like,
Yes.
this is not, I have to try to forget that I can't feel my legs because it's scary.
I agree.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
It's very freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you want to, it's like, this is scary. I cannot move. I cannot feel anything.
It's a whole other fear. It's not the painful kind of like, I'm going to die and I'd rather die than continue on another moment feeling this pain. Like, it gets dark, right? In the mind when you're
Yes.
experiencing those contractions, it gets very dark.
Yes.
And you start, I was telling John, I'm never doing this again. I'm never having another baby. This was a huge mistake. If we ever do have a baby, it's a surrogate. Like, this is horrific. And then epidural, then they broke my water. Then I was 4 centimeters. Then they were like, we want to put you on Pitocin. I said no. But I was going to say yes. I just wanted to see how I progressed. I just wanted to see, let's see what happens for an hour. And then if nothing happens, but then I went to 6 centimeters, then 9, and then I was hitting 10 centimeters, and I was like, okay, we're ready to push this thing out. He'll be out here in like 20 minutes. I told that to Johnny's mom, who came in. Well, my parents came in, I started sobbing because I just felt like I went through trauma, and they like got to see me in that. And then Johnny's mom came in, and I was like, so I'm 10, so we'll see you in like 20 minutes. I didn't know pushing could be hours.
But hold up. At some point,
I turned that epidural off.
You told them to turn the epidural off.
Like an
Why
idiot.
was that?
Because I just didn't, I was uninformed.
Okay, because why?
Because I didn't know the pain could come back that quickly. And I didn't know that pushing could last hours.
You didn't want to be numb.
I wanted to just feel my legs a little bit.
So you were like, I want to feel my legs a little bit. And this was like how many hours into the epidural did you do that?
I want to say it was around 6 o'clock that I turned off. I had the birth at 9:20 p.m. and I probably turned the epidural off, not down, off at 6 p.m.
Why did you turn it off and not down?
Because they said we can't turn it down. We can turn it off, and then you push the button if you want more. And when I thought about pushing the button, like once I felt everything again and the contractions came back and I had to push, I was like, I think I want to push the button. I think I want to push the button. And the way they looked like, I mean, it might progress. It might make it take longer. That's what they said. And I was like, it wasn't like a clear yes to push the button. So I was like, well, maybe if I can feel it, it can go faster.
Okay.
So I thought about pushing the button a few times. I definitely said I should push the button. And the vibe I got was that if I push it, it could take a lot longer.
Okay.
So I was just like, I guess I won't push it.
Okay.
Because then this could happen quickly. And it didn't. And every time they say push, you're going to do push again. I'm like, I don't have anything left. I'm about to die.
And at this point, you can feel everything.
I can feel all the contractions that I felt before.
Okay.
And I had to push. And I had no energy. It was pretty horrific.
I remember that.
And then, so right before it, so like at 5 p.m., the doula was saying like, I can come now if she's sick. And at that point, I was so furious that she wasn't there that I actually did tell her. I told Johnny, like, we don't really need her here. All the nurses are amazing. The nurses, by the way, are coming and going, where's your doula? And we felt so embarrassed that she wasn't there. Like, I felt like an idiot.
That is embarrassing.
It was.
It is.
I felt like an idiot for hiring a doula and telling them, oh my God.
They not be like, that is embarrassing.
Yeah. And the doula's like, we got your back. We're going to be there. We're going to deliver the birth plan. We're going to just make sure everything goes in order. I'm like, we already did all that. We walked in the hospital and gave them a birth plan. Everyone's nice. No one's fighting us. Like, the job that you claim to do, you didn't do. And by the time you're like, I can come now. I'm like, I'm on an epidural. I don't need you.
Yeah, I'm pushing the
Well,
baby
I didn't know
out.
I had to push yet. Had I known I still had 3 hours of pushing and pain was going to come back, maybe I would have just said, fine, come. And then when she came in, I'm really resentful at you and I just need to share all that and get it out. And maybe she would have been helpful through the pushing. But I didn't know that pushing could last that long.
Do you want to do a resentment inventory around her?
Yeah.
What's the cause? Why are you resentful?
That-
Who are you resentful at?
I'm resentful at the doula.
Why?
Because she didn't come when she knew I was in pain and in labor. And she didn't articulate how painful induction could be. And she didn't lead.
Okay. And what does that affect?
My security, my pocketbook, because I paid her, my self-esteem maybe,
Yeah.
because maybe I'm not worth her coming. What else are the other ones?
Personal relations.
Yeah, I mean, my
sex
personal
relations.
not sex. I mean, could.
Although
sex.
it put a lot of pressure on Johnny, actually.
Yeah.
So it did affect that.
It's affected
because
everything.
He's new to this and he thought you guys like hired someone to guide you.
Yeah.
And then he stepped up.
Yeah.
But that was probably an immense amount of pressure that he wasn't fully prepared for.
No, and had we
too.
not had a doula, I'm sure we would have done a lot more research. I would have learned how to do all the labor stuff, but I didn't because I was like, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what she claimed to do. I'm going to help you put you in positions,
Yeah.
help you breathe,
Yeah.
let you know what to do. Me and Johnny are going to tap in and out.
Yes.
You might want my energy and then you might want his.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't do research on how to give birth because of that.
Totally.
So like, yeah, so that's what it's affecting is
a
everything.
lot. Everything. Okay. And then this is the hardest part. So we're doing for those of you who are listening or watching, like, what are you guys doing?
12-step.
Yeah. It's a recovery program inventories. Like when you have a resentment, they teach you to basically write on an inventory to try and
Clear away the resentment
clear
so
away
that you don't
the
have to carry it anymore because resentment's very heavy.
Yeah, and resentment is just re-feeling, right? That feeling of anger or sadness or shame or whatever. And so for especially like recovering addicts or alcoholics, it's dangerous to walk around resentful for too long because you're more likely to want to like numb out because you have unresolved. So basically,
Yeah, they say a business that doesn't take regular inventories usually goes broke, and we're the same with our emotions.
Yeah.
And resentment also gets in the way of the present moment, so we can't even see and enjoy life if we're like covered with resentment.
Totally. So the next step in the resentment inventory, so we discussed what was the cause, what did it affect, lots of areas, and then what is your part?
Nothing. I have no part.
That's the next step. That's like the hardest part because a lot of resentments are justified, right? They're justified.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I
your
know my part.
is just holding on to it. Sometimes that's your
yeah,
only
that's
part.
true. So you were say you were abused when
Yeah.
you were 5
Yeah.
and you're 40 years old,
Yeah.
still replaying the tape. That's your part. Stop replaying the tape.
It's holding on to it,
Holding
not
on to
letting
it.
go because it's justified.
Yeah.
But okay, so then what is your part? Meaning, where were you selfish, self-seeking, dishonest, or afraid?
My part is that I did, like, well, one, I don't even think I fully read her contract. I'm sure it says in there, you know, no refunds, stuff like that.
Right,
And so, like,
right.
I willingly paid her knowing that, like, she probably wouldn't refund. It's not even knowing, I didn't even think that far ahead. I didn't do the research. And, like, that is a huge issue I have in my life is, like, the impulsivity of, like, let's just do it without reading the fine print.
Yep.
So, like, I willingly paid her.
Has anyone actually read a contract? Do people read them?
Yeah, so for her to be like, why does she want a refund? She knows how it works. Yeah.
Sounds
so
good.
That's on me. And that's
Lots
like,
of big
that showed
words.
up everywhere in my life. You know, it's like I rushed into the marriage. I rushed things. And that's my problem.
Whoa.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you get excited,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and I don't picture like, okay, if for some reason something goes wrong, will I be okay losing this money? I don't ask myself that. I just picture the best possible outcome. And that usually happens. And if it doesn't happen, like the insurance, that's my part too. Like I should have realized, I should have read more and researched more. But Manon doesn't love reading.
Hear me out. How are you on asking for help? Because
Not great, terrible.
okay.
Terrible
Because it's
for
okay
asking
to
for
have weaknesses and to understand like your shortcomings or weaknesses
No.
or whatever.
I should have hired an insurance agent and had
or
them.
ask Johnny for help. You know, your husband
Yeah.
or fiance,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yeah, I'm not great. I'm an only child. I'll do everything alone. I'll do
Wow.
it myself. So if I f it up, pardon my French, it's on me.
Wow.
I'm an idiot. I'm not going to ask for help because that's weak. Thus,
Wow.
I'm
True.
terrible
True.
at asking for help. Terrible.
Okay. But so that's a good realization. So, okay, so you've got your part is like maybe being a little impulsive, not reading the
little.
fine print.
Yeah.
I freaking relate to that. Like you wouldn't believe, just like everything's going to be great. And
Like I could have called her and said,
yeah,
So I could have, when I was feeling like I was almost people pleasing and like not feeling worthy.
Yeah.
When I started feeling that intense pain, I wish I could have had the wherewithal to be like, I don't care. I want her here and to stand for myself.
yeah.
I don't care that that's her policy.
Yeah.
I'll pay her more.
Yeah.
Have her come.
Yes.
But
Totally.
instead it was like this weird, like, well, one, I wasn't even really aware of it, to be honest. But like, if
Yeah,
I could go
totally.
back, I would say, I would ask her more questions. What is being induced like? What do I expect? Like, I don't ask enough questions, inquiring questions to help me make the full decision. I just make the decision hoping it all works out, because sometimes that does. Vine, a 6-second video, worked out. The impulsivity works out for me. Improv, wow, I'm really quick. I wrote a book in 6 months. Is it the best book ever? No, but I
Yes.
did it. It's finished. Do I need to go back and edit the shit out of it? And could it have been better? Of course, if I would have given it the attention it deserves. But like, yeah, I need to work on these things.
Cool that you pointed out how your impulsivity has served you in your life. Like with these videos, Chris and I were just talking about the like benefits of underthinking. Like almost just, you have an idea, let's do it.
Yeah.
We don't overthink it to death. You just do it. You're impulsive. And
not an
that's
overthinker.
served you.
Yeah.
That's made you so creative and is responsible for so much of your success.
Yeah.
Because you're able to like come up with an idea and then just execute and do it. And you've done that in your life. Or like you see Amy Poehler at the store and you don't overthink it. You go up and you say,
Yeah.
like you just
Yes.
are fearless in so many ways.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm tingly thinking about it.
Yeah.
But that's
I'll do stand up for
Right.
like a second and not
Right.
get off stage going, what did I could have done better? I literally am like, well, that was great. Moving on. And I move on to the next thing.
I love that.
Literally ultimate presence a lot of the time.
But when
such a gift.
it's a gift and then it's a
And
a curse.
And
because
we don't have
read
TV shows.
Contracts. We need to read contracts.
I need to read contracts.
Pause.
I need to pause, get in the flow,
Yeah.
write a show, look, how can I improve my writing? How can I improve this? How can I look at, there's just so much.
Okay, so we've got that, and then any other part that you can, I mean, that's enough. It sounds like there's fear in there, like the people pleasing. You didn't want to call her.
I didn't want conflict.
And
I didn't want her to deny
Come
me.
now.
I didn't
You
want
felt
rejection.
bad.
Yeah, I didn't want rejection. I didn't want to be like, sorry. And then for me to get even more upset and be like, I don't want to put her out
Yeah.
and make her drive 48 minutes too soon.
Right.
What? And Johnny gets on me so much. He's like, why do you think you don't deserve that?
Right. Wow.
Like, come on, you're
Wow.
amazing. You like, people are demanding stuff in their life that don't have the kind of caring
Dude,
love and big
yeah.
heart that you have. Like, come
know.
on.
I know.
Like, you are worth it. And I'm just like, I feel a lot of times like I'm not.
Dude, what is that? My boyfriend
It
asked me the other
sucks.
day, he's like, because I was like so overwhelmed. I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I have to pay all these bills and raise these kids, and I feel alone, and I'm like chronically stressed, and I'm scared, and you know, I just feel like it's I'm suffering as a mom because I'm focused on work, and I'm suffering with work because I'm focused on the kids, and it's like this like battle that I'm just experiencing. And he's like, ask for help. Like, what do you need? What can I do? And I'm just like, what can you? He's like, what can I do? You know? And it's like so hard for me to be like, well, it would be helpful if this or that or just whatever the thing is. Why is it such a struggle?
Well, my
to
brain
ask
doesn't
for
even
help?
go to how I could be helped. Like, even when people do say, like, what can I do? I don't even know what you can
I
do.
know.
It doesn't, my brain doesn't function that
Yeah.
way. And for some people it does. They're like, oh, you could do this and bring me this. And I'm like, what?
Maybe you can.
How do you allow that kind of reception into your life of like people giving you stuff?
We
I think
could
that's why
practice
when Johnny
that.
didn't get flowers, I was like sobbing. Because it triggered the part of me that doesn't feel like anyone wants to give me something. Like, if I'm going to get something, I have to do it myself. Because God forbid anyone do something nice for me. And when they do, I start crying.
Wow.
Like, you bringing me that smoothie. You've been so generous.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have, like, I have a lot of generous people in my life, but like it like, I don't know how to explain it. Like one time I was out with Johnny and I was like, I'm going to go get a cookie. And he's like, okay. And he pulled like a 5 or a 10 and he goes, go enjoy. I started crying because I was
know.
like, are you kidding me?
It's those
Like, why
little
is this such a big
things.
deal?
Yeah.
Whereas like somebody else might be like, thank you. And think
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is what I deserve.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really small thing, but it's huge.
But it's huge. Yeah.
But like some women
Yeah.
are like flying on jets because they're just like, I'm worth it because I exist.
Right.
I'm pretty and I'm cute
They're like,
and I'm a model.
fuck the environment. I'm worth it.
Yeah. How do they do that? I'm like, I have to be funny. I have to be cute. I have to
should
be
stop
sexy. I
caring
have to be
about
smart. I
the
have to
environment.
provide you with a home. I have to do all these things.
Mm.
And then I'll feel worthy of your love.
Whoa. But I feel like you've made a lot of progress too, or you're very aware of like when you're in your masculine, as you like to say, like when you're in your masculine and when you're in your feminine.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so-
giving voice to a lot of that part, I guess.
You what?
I'm giving voice to that part of me that doesn't feel enough a lot in this episode.
Yeah, totally.
And thank you, I have made some progress.
So you've made a lot of progress, a lot. And just the fact that you're self-aware, going like, oh, okay, so this is this part of me that feels like I can't ask for help. So maybe sometimes we need to learn, like, this was a lesson for me, being bit in the finger.
What was the lesson?
Don't put my finger in his
People's mouth.
Yeah.
She puts her finger in so many people's mouths. The
Yeah.
amount of times you've just hooked me, and I'm like, ah.
Every
and I
time-
said, you're gonna get bit one of these days. You're gonna get bit, and guess what? You learned your lesson.
My nail is about to fall off, so I got a manicure to try and make it look like the rest.
It works.
Yeah,
It
I
even has the little curve.
I recreated
That's
the
hilarious.
trauma
It's very
in this
smart.
finger, right?
You made beauty out of trauma.
Right? That's the lesson.
That's what we do here.
That's the lesson.
Take a mess.
I
and
turn
make it
lemonade,
beautiful.
lemons into lemonade.
You turn lemonade into lemons.
lemons. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like you're really self-aware.
Cool. Awesome.
great.
Great
So
that
I know
I'm aware
I'm a
of all
mess.
my issues.
I'm aware.
I'd rather be ignorant and just unaware and have less people like me than I know all my issues.
I
and
know
I'm
I'm
gonna
a
obsess
train
about
wreck.
them. And
Yeah.
no, I appreciate it.
I know what a
you're
mess
being-
I
you're being
am.
kind.
Cool.
Great.
Cool.
What about the people that are like being a mess everywhere and they don't even know it?
They're not
or
even
care?
aware of their flaws.
Ignorance is bliss.
That's what I want. Fuck being self-aware. You're right. That's
Yeah.
misery.
I don't know. What,
Be oblivious.
I wish I was like unaware sometimes.
But you're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Just to add to your issues. You're
100%.
also too hard on
Very
yourself.
hard on myself.
Yeah.
Well, I got that from my dad.
It's honestly insane.
I would walk by his office growing up and he'd be like, idiot, such an idiot.
The fact
And I was like, okay, that's what we're going to do for the rest of the time. I'm an idiot. I'm good. Ugh.
Dude, the name of this podcast is called Idiot. Okay, we are the same person. We are the same person.
I know.
But the fact that you're here, Manon, at 3 weeks postpartum is so incredible. The fact that you're here. I remember I was still recovering physically. I was in a lot of pain. I was mentally, like, you're just so amazing. You're such an amazing person. And you're like, it's just incredibly impressive that you're here today. Then what? Tell me then what? So, okay, we did the resentment inventory. Do you feel a little peace around that? Or are we still just as pissed at her?
No, I texted her a picture of the baby this morning.
Okay.
And kind of forgot that I was mad at her.
Okay.
Because that's the other defect I have is I forget anyone that I was upset at. You know, like when the ex did what he did, I was like, well, he's in pain. It's okay. Like, I don't, even though I said all that anger, I was trying to give it a voice, but I'm not, I do see my part and I go, well, I could have done this better. And, you know, of course, I still hope that she could refund some of it. But if she doesn't, then life is life. And I hopefully will learn next time, but I probably won't.
But maybe you will. Like, why say that you won't? Why
Because
say
I
that you
haven't
won't?
learned it yet.
Okay.
This has been a
Okay.
repeated pattern that I have yet to learn. I haven't started reading more.
You know, Oprah said like that your God or higher power like starts whispering when something's wrong, and then the voice gets louder and the voice gets louder and the voice gets louder until you finally learn. Oprah said that until you finally. Who's Oprah? She's like she had like a show at one point, a talk show.
Like Wendy Wilkins?
Yeah, like Wendy Wilkinson. Yeah.
Like Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres and
Oprah
Wendy Wilkinson.
what?
Yeah, she had a show like them.
What's Oprah?
Oprah.
Is it just Oprah?
It's Oprah Winfrey. Yeah,
Wickfrey?
like the candle.
It's Winfrey.
Yeah, and she had a show, I think. But anyway,
You think?
Yeah. So, but anyway, so she basically talked about, you know, God speaks to you in a whisper, and then it gets louder and then louder and louder, and then it's just like, you know what I mean?
So is this a wake-up call?
Yeah, and I'm saying like, what you're gonna eventually
I
learn
thought
the
the-
lesson and shift and change, but like sometimes it takes, because you're saying you keep doing the same thing, and I've done that too, and then it becomes undeniable that something needs to shift. All right, where were we?
But up until then, you don't need to worry about it.
Okay, and
not
if I
happening.
get paranoid, sorry guys, we just took a little break. Are we good? What? What are you
I'm
pointing?
giving him.
Oh, pointing at you. Where were we? What were we talking about? Come on. What, did you just have a baby or something? Think. How's your brain doing?
What?
Right? Manon kept trying
It's
to ask
okay.
me stuff about having a newborn. She's like, how often did you feed? I'm like, I don't.
You don't remember anything.
remember.
You were useless.
Useless.
I was like, what does this face mean? How often should I do this? How often did you do that?
I don't know.
You just had the baby
I
like
don't
a few
know.
years ago.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
You're like, did you also swaddle? What is that? I don't remember. Because it's all a blur,
Yeah.
you know?
It's all right. I think my brain's coming back online. I was dancing yesterday, like to music, and I was like, oh, wow, I haven't done that in a while. I mean, I do dance, but not like by myself. I don't know. I just felt like I was in a good mood. I was like, oh, this is nice.
So
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I know we didn't finish the damn birth story. So you are, because we did the resentment inventory. We did a little resentment inventory, and now we're back. So
Reading
so you're-
contracts
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. We've healed.
Over it.
Okay, it's
I
fucking
haven't
over
healed it.
Oh, love and
How do I
tolerance.
learn
Pray
to
for her.
read?
Cool. Great.
Just tell me how to read and have space and give myself space to be present with something for long periods of time so I can edit and write a script. Like, how do I do that?
You're getting distracted, man, and we're not talking about writing scripts.
We were.
Okay.
We were talking about reading contracts.
Reading contracts.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
To me,
Yes.
it occurs to the same as me.
Yeah. So we got to focus on
Because I don't
that.
want this to happen again.
No.
I don't want to relearn this lesson.
So that was a lot of pain you felt. So
Yes.
let's remember that. And then,
which part?
well, just the betrayal you felt from the doula and like what not reading
Yeah.
and being impulsive.
Is there going to be something bigger that happens now?
Sure.
I don't want that.
Then so all you got to do is
heal it.
pause next time. Read the f***ing contract. Read a contract. If you get a contract, read it. If it's too big, ask for help. Ask for help. Johnny, a lawyer, your manager.
Hey, can you help me read?
I would say me, but I'm just as useless. Yes.
Help me read.
Sometimes it's like sitting down.
I
It's
know
like,
how to read.
I have to read a contract. Okay, or say you have to something you want to write. You want to write a treatment, you can't get it done. Call me. I need to write 2 hours. I hold you accountable. We sit down. I'm your accountability buddy. And so you have to write this treatment because you're accountable. It's like why we have sponsors in a program, because we can't do it by ourselves. We're not going to do this. I'm not going to do the step work unless I have someone that I'm accountable to, that I said I would have it done by this time, and then I'm reading it to her. If I was left to my own devices, I wouldn't do the work, because sometimes we're naturally undisciplined. So like sometimes it takes someone else to be accountable to, or just someone say, I need help. I need help, and just ask for help, and someone can help you. They could sit down and
I don't want to experience them denying me.
who's going to deny you?
don't
Johnny
know
certainly
anyone.
isn't. He's not going to. I may. Very may if I'm busy.
I don't want to feel that. I fear rejection. That's why I'm never like.
But you'll survive. Back to the f***ing birth. So you're pushing.
But I need to fix this.
You already have.
Huh?
Wait, you're the one that's all about neuro-linguistic programming.
I am.
Neurolinguini programming.
No, I do it for other people. I don't always do it for
So
myself.
let's apply it to yourself.
Okay, how? I forget. See, but it's the brain. I don't know. I can't think.
Because you just gave birth.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you were pushing for hours. You pushed and you pushed. And you didn't realize that you just kept pushing, that it wouldn't happen in like 20 minutes.
No, that was information for sure.
Why does it take hours to push? It was like that with Alfie.
How many hours did you push with Alfie?
I feel like it was like 1 or 2 hours, maybe 2.
The nurse said that it took her 5 hours to push her son.
Yeah. Could have been like
I don't know.
2.
Maybe if I would have had a mirror, could have asked for the mirror and said, like, if I would have seen any progress of his head coming out of my vagina, maybe I would have pushed harder. Because Johnny said that the head kept almost coming out, but then it got sucked back in because like I would give up.
Because you're just so tired.
Yeah, I don't have any energy. I just went through trauma 8 times over.
And they're like, push.
Like, I need a nap. I need to go to bed. Like, I can't push.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And honestly, think if I wasn't pushing, here's what my gut instinct says. If the pain didn't exist and I could just walk, gravity would. Why are we laying on our back?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like, I shouldn't have to push. I feel like the energy will move through if we're just like, can we just I shouldn't. It's like going to the bathroom. I'm not gonna like push.
They try to, yeah, exactly. You're not going to lay
Just
down
chill.
while you shit.
No, do you?
I do, yes. But
In bed?
yeah, I do, man. And don't judge. I thought this was a judge-free zone.
I'm not judging.
Okay, cool.
I just
so
think-
let me shit in bed in peace. My God.
I think there are other
Places to shit?
to go to the bathroom.
Okay. You do you. When in Rome, let me shit
To
in
each
bed.
his own.
To each his own. But I had like a
Cheech-a-rone.
pole that I held, and
See,
I was in
there
a
was no
squat,
pole.
and I was squatting.
That's nice.
I was like this. And then I just like pooped.
I didn't have this. I was on my back.
Yeah, they try and
nothing
get you.
felt right about
They
that.
try and get you on your back. And then eventually I went to my back too. Like I switched up positions. But if you didn't have an epidural in you, then you could actually move around.
I just feel like animals, they plop
Yeah.
it out. They're not like sitting there pushing
They
with somebody going, come on.
Yeah, they
like,
squat it out.
Give it a minute.
Gravity. It
will
makes
come.
sense that you'd be squatting and the baby would go down.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
easily, effortlessly.
Totally.
he wants to come out.
Totally. But anyway, so you got it out.
Yeah.
Did she pull it? Did he come out?
Yeah, his head popped out.
Yeah.
And apparently Johnny said his head was just outside going like this. And then they went, oh, cord, and had reach in the vagina, tear me, 2nd degree, pull the cord out from around his neck.
Oof.
And then he went, wow.
And then what? Came up to your chest?
Had an alien head.
Okay. And you were so traumatized and probably in so much pain, it's hard to enjoy.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't enjoying it. I
Same.
was just like,
Yep. Dude, literally that. That was me and Poppy. I couldn't even enjoy her. I was
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Like those videos where it's like, oh my God, my baby.
Yeah.
Everything's good. It wasn't me. But I think that's because they were on an epidural, so they didn't feel the pain.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
With Alfie, that was me. I was on an
Yeah.
epidural. I was totally numb. Baby came out.
Yeah. That's great.
And I was just, because I was numb.
Yeah.
And then it wore off and I felt like I was hit by a truck.
How do you push when you're numb?
Tried. That's
Did you feel any pressure?
Dude, she had to do a vacuum extraction.
Okay,
a
so-
Dyson. Just
Like the Dyson where you get
yeah.
the corners onto his head.
Just suctioned it. Boom.
Damn,
And he actually
Dyson's great.
He actually had a little like bump on his head from that. I'm not kidding. From that Dyson.
Was it really a Dyson?
It wasn't a Dyson,
Okay,
but
so
it
it's a
was a
joke.
vacuum. It was a vacuum.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've heard about this
Yes.
vacuum.
Which is dangerous for a lot. I read about the risks of that after, and it was.
What are the risks?
I don't even want to talk about it. It's just there's a lot, but it needed to happen because his heart rate went down. There was a cord around his neck. They needed to get him out. He wasn't coming out because I was numb. It was a show, dude.
Dang.
It was a show.
Damn. But you were
know?
happy when you got him because you weren't in pain.
Yeah.
And so you were in that bliss state of
Yes.
the epidural. Yeah.
But then it's funny. So tell me. So when River came out, then what?
Then he laid on me. Johnny cut the cord.
Mm.
I was in shock, trauma. But then then I looked at it. I was just in shock.
You looked at it.
I looked at it.
I looked at it.
I was like, what up,
like,
playa?
hey, what's
What's
up?
good? You just came through.
You just came through.
Not easily.
right.
It could have been better.
Difficult
But you did it. And we did it.
It's about damn time.
People are like, you did it. I was like, shut the F. I don't care. I'm mad at everybody.
Yeah.
So angry. Don't you understand what I just went through? I hate all of it. This is not happy.
I remember.
You're like, you did it. You did it, girl. I was like, shut up.
Fuck away from me.
Up.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm traumatized now.
I'm covered in blood.
Why is
and
this- this is
shit.
not
I
happy.
get away.
Yeah. But then the hours went by, they weighed him, whatever. As time went on, I started really loving the kid. Not like it took a few, I don't know. Like
You liked
a
him
few-
at first.
I liked him at first. I thought he was cute. I thought his
Yeah.
head was like, woo. And then they put a hat over it. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
The fluid started leaving his face.
That's good. That's good.
They swaddled him and it was like, it's crazy that you have the baby and then they're like, we're just going to move you to this other room and then you're going to sleep with the baby in the bassinet.
Yes.
I'm like, aren't you going to watch him?
Yeah.
Why do I have to watch him? I don't know I just went through trauma. I need to take a nap.
Yeah.
I can't sleep now because I don't want my baby to die.
Right.
Because that's the thought that everyone has
yeah.
is like, we have to keep this thing alive
Yes.
that like was just relying on being in my body.
Yes.
Can anyone just take him for 24 hours
Yeah.
so I can just restore?
Yeah.
But nope.
No.
It's on you.
Yeah.
Once the baby's out, it's on you.
Yep.
That's wild to me.
It's on you.
I
for the
thought they'd
next
all go in a
18
room.
years.
Yeah, I asked my dad, I said, when did you stop worrying about me? Because I want to know what age I can stop worrying. He goes,
Oh no, never.
first he
Never.
made the joke of like, I still do. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that sucks. That really sucks. But then he's like, I don't know, when you were like in elementary school,
Yeah.
like you realize kids are resilient. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I guess there's always going to be an undercurrent of
Yeah.
like, I hope they live. Like, I just want him to
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
let alone succeed and thrive in his
Yeah.
career. Like, who cares? I
Yeah.
just want him to be alive.
Same. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and
Yes.
every day it's like, I hope, check if he's breathing.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How does it feel to be away? This is probably the longest you've been away from him.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I went to dinner last night, but yeah.
There you go.
Which actually, like, I think you're right. I am doing pretty good because a lot of moms wouldn't even leave their kid yet
Yeah.
for months, I guess.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean,
And I trust that, like, Johnny and or my mom has it. Like, I'm not sitting here like,
Totally.
is he okay? Is he okay? I'm actually, like, pretty present with you, which
I
is
love
nice.
that. Yeah.
For 3 weeks in, I'm like, they got it. That's nice. To know that you really need to make sure that you have a partner that you trust.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a kid.
Yes.
If
Say
you
it
haven't, maybe
louder.
have a dog first.
louder.
Like, please,
Scream that.
please, for the love of God, a kid is not, it's gonna make everything 10 times worse if you're not in a good relationship.
Yeah.
Do not have kids because you think it's a fun idea if your relationship isn't good, isn't like thriving.
Oh yeah.
Not even like, if your relationship is just like, okay,
Yeah.
don't have a kid. I'm sorry. I will say that because
Yeah.
it will make it, like, Johnny and I are killing it in a relationship. Best
love that.
relationship ever.
Yeah.
And even him and I are now like, if we're not, because you're not going to sleep, like,
Yeah. No.
you're not going to get the sleep that you got at one point.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's just a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And and people think like there's this huge misconception that having a baby is going to make you closer. I always thought that. Oh my God, like two people in love, like making a baby or having a baby or, you know,
It does make you
adopting a
closer in
baby,
some
like,
ways. In some
does.
ways.
Yes.
I'll say, like, I've never loved Johnny more than when,
Yeah.
after the hospital experience, I held him and I was like, oh my God, my love for you expanded 10 times more because of how you held the space. And now that you're father of this child, that is true in some capacity.
yeah,
And on the other side of it, it could absolutely tear you apart.
totally.
If you're not careful and precise and maybe in therapy. And
Yeah.
I mean, it will test everything.
Absolutely. I would say, like, Stephen and I, we had our problems. And I remember after having Alfie, I remember major blissful moments with us. And like, we felt so connected and adored the kids. But it also became really dark because we were overwhelmed and handled it differently. And it just presented a lot of problems between us, you know?
Well, that's because you're not trained for that.
Totally.
We had the relationship we created for years, and that's what we know, and that's what's familiar. And now we're throwing this other thing that we both are going to feel responsible for that's going to put us in optimal stress, the highest stress. And how do we deal with stress? Well, we're going to find out.
Oh, yeah. And
What real stress is. Last year, our
Yes.
biggest stress was us being on a cruise, eating too much.
Right.
I'm like, that's
Stressful.
what we were worried about. It was like, oh my God,
Totally.
there's so many desserts everywhere. Like, we keep eating desserts on a cruise, running around in a dress. And it's like Mexico. It's like, oh, like we were actually stressed out about that.
That was your stress. And now it's keeping a human alive and like dealing with the few hours of sleep. And yeah, wow. But it's amazing that you guys have been a good team, that he's proving to be a really good dad. I mean, I saw it the other day. You guys were killing it. And
Thank you.
both.
Yeah, he's
You know.
fantastic.
And he's waking up in the middle of the night and doing feedings. That's huge.
Yeah, he wakes up, I feed
Yeah.
at like 10, and then he wakes up at 1 or 2 in the morning and feeds him from the bottle and gets that time. He doesn't
Wow.
complain about it. And then I feed him at like 5 or 6. And so
Wow.
I've gotten to actually sleep like 6 hours in a row, which is phenomenal.
That's huge.
And he's a calm baby because I wouldn't say it's because of us, but I think he at least has a really calm environment to be a baby in. And I know there's so many factors,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that River is so calm and peaceful and adorable, and that we have at least a foundation of ways to communicate
Yeah.
with each other.
Whoa.
You know, like even yesterday on Valentine's Day, I had mentioned to Laura, I was like, Johnny dropped the ball because he didn't get me flowers because he knows I love the holiday. I love flowers.
Yeah.
But he has like 3 jobs right now and he's a new dad. And so I knew that like I knew I didn't want to like make him feel bad about it, but I also wanted to out at dinner that I'd felt disappointed. And so I was like, I just want to out something. And he was like, oh God, okay. And I was like, I feel sad that I didn't get any flowers for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And he was like, ugh. He literally was just like, and then I started crying because it brought up trauma from like, brought up something sad from my past that had really nothing to do with Johnny.
Yeah.
Like I know that he's busy and that he loves me. I'm not insecure about that. But you see people on Instagram like, my boyfriend got me flowers. And I'm like, what about me? I'm worth it too. I just had your baby. And he just like let me cry and then was like, I dropped the ball. Yeah, that was a real mess up.
Whoa.
You deserve all the flowers. And he just didn't even try to defend himself.
Now, if you go
kinda
home
cool.
today...
No, he got me flowers this morning.
Oh, cool. Because I was going to say, if you don't have flowers today...
Yeah. No, this morning he came home and brought flowers. He goes, they're late, but... And I was like, thank you. It like meant a lot. And the point is like after, like during dinner, just getting to cry in a safe place where I wasn't being judged or like fought on my feelings. We were able to have a great dinner. And then like I dropped it because I was like, that part of me got to express itself.
I love that. You've actually taught me to do that.
Aww.
To express yourself, because every time I'll call Manon and I'll be like, I'm feeling really jealous or insecure or angry about this, and she's like, well, have you told him? I'm like, obviously not. And she's like, well, tell him, like in a nice way, like this is how I'm feeling, don't attack, but just express your insecurity or anger or whatever it is. Just bring it to him and see how he handles that. Because I think for so many years I didn't feel safe doing that, or I didn't do that. It never worked out well. So I learned to hold on to it or take it somewhere else. And you were like, no, take it to the source.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but. And I did that. And I even did that last night too. Because like I told you, we went and got massages, and then his whole plan was to like cook dinner. And initially, like I was really excited about it, but then I started feeling like pressure, and I didn't want to. Honestly, I didn't want to do any work. Like I was like working. Yeah, like I was working all day, and then I like put the kids down, and I was exhausted, and I was stressed thinking about all the stuff I had to do. And then I was like, oh my God, and now we have this big meal to prepare. And it felt like work when really I wanted to just sit there and be served and have a dinner. But I didn't express that. I didn't say, you know what, I cook every day, so I don't want to cook on Valentine's Day. Cooking is romantic. But when you do it all the time, you have to do it for other people, for your kids and for yourself. It's like, the novelty for me is to like go sit at a restaurant and like have other people cook for me. Yeah. Whereas for him, he's like, oh my God, how exciting we get to cook together. Yeah. And so I had this moment where I was like holding back tears because like I was stressed and like didn't feel like making lentil meatballs for 3 hours.
I don't blame you.
But I kind of expressed that to him.
What do you mean, kind of?
I basically said I'm exhausted and I feel stressed, and like I don't like this meal like feels daunting. It was something like that. And he was like, just sit.
He
like,
said, you'll do it.
You'll
get through it.
He goes, Laura, there's nothing you have to do. Just sit. He's like, just sit and let me make this food. There's nothing you have to do. And like pulled out the instructions and then I was watching him cook, and it started to look really fun. And then I was like, well, wait, hold on. How long does do the mushrooms go in there? And he's like, I got it. And I was like, no, but can I chop the onion? Because he's like, no, I got it. And I was like, yeah, but let me do the garlic, because how long and I just like wanted to be involved. And then he was like, all right, chop the thing. And then we ended up having so much fun.
That's usually what happens is once you just need to give voice to it. It doesn't actually like, it's not about you not wanting to do it. You just needed to give voice and expression to that part of you. And then usually when you do that, you end up wanting to do the thing anyway.
It was wild. And I ended up having so much fun. And we were like making the meatballs, and it was like, we didn't finish the meal until 10 p.m. And it was so much fun. It was so gratifying to like sit there and eat it. And like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that was because of you. I wouldn't have expressed it. And I could have even been more blunt, but I did express like stress of like not like just feeling exhausted and not wanting to do any sort of work. And to me, like cooking is work in a sense. There, you know, it's not like sitting back and like getting served. That's, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I
it
think
turned out
that's
to be
really beautiful.
amazing.
I'm glad that you're expressing yourself to him.
So then you cried at dinner, and he heard you and validated you. That's amazing. Look at
Yeah,
that.
he has a really good ability to like zoom out of the situation
Yeah.
and just like almost like takes responsibility in a way that I've never seen before. Even when he's not wrong, he still is like, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's on me. When sometimes it's not on him, but like he has no shame about.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, I don't want to be wrong and I'll fight to the death and I defend myself. And it's like, I think he sees the bigger picture of like, well, I love this person and I want them to feel seen and heard. So like, and he you know,
Damn,
he was like,
hot.
yeah, that sucks.
hot as
That's
hell.
hot. And then so just that, giving that voice made me
love
feel
that.
better.
How about sex? Let's talk about that. Can't
Can't
imagine.
do it. I can't, I would like to.
3 weeks. Get it out of here.
You're not supposed to
until 6
because the
weeks.
cervix, you know why? I Googled it yesterday. So the cervix isn't even closed until 6 weeks.
Get out of
So it's
here
still
with that.
open. You can't like have stuff up in there.
No. So, yeah, 6 weeks. I know you like can't imagine ever putting anything back in there right after, but it'll. Or can you?
I can imagine putting the baby back up
Really?
through there.
Do you think about
I
that?
think about it a lot.
Holy shit.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine that I think about putting the baby back up. Okay?
Oh my God, this is getting
Okay.
really dark. I think we need to stop.
No, I think I can imagine having sex actually. I had a
Really?
sex dream the other night.
Dude, I
and
love
had an
that.
orgasm in my sleep.
Ooh.
And I had to look up, is that safe?
Fully orgasm? Interesting. Wow.
It's not common, but I think
amazing.
because I can't have sex, my body's still learning. And I thought, is this safe to have an orgasm when you're 6 weeks, when you're not after giving birth?
Dude, your recovery is amazing. That's the beauty of feeling everything during.
That is the beauty.
No, because after is nothing. Like the recovery.
Well, I
after,
still felt pain after, but yeah, not as bad as you've described it. I think it could have been way worse.
Oh my God, with Alfie, like I said, I couldn't feel anything. The birth was painless, but the postpartum
Was horrific?
Dude, yes. I did not have sex for 6 months after Alfie.
I think I remember you telling me this at Hugo's.
Because I was so traumatized.
Like there's something called,
vaginismus.
wow,
Yeah.
that was 6 years ago.
It's a trauma response. So your vagina literally is closed for business. Nothing can get in. Nothing. It's like protecting because of the trauma. And then I had to go to a pelvic floor therapist who used dilators to get me used to.
Anything going in?
Yeah. So she would use these dilators.
Dilators?
Yeah. They look like,
Are they anything like now and later?
they look like dildos, honestly, but like small. Like small. Yeah, they're like now and laters. She just like rammed now and laters up my pussy.
Why are they
basically,
called
yeah.
now and laters? Oh, now and later.
What?
What?
Huh?
Have you ever thought about now and later?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Now and later?
Are they called now and laters?
Now and laters?
The candy?
Is that like saying?
Is that what they're called?
Is the reason they're called that? So it's like I eat them now and later.
I've never thought
because
about
I'm
that until this
addicted?
second. Is that why they're called that?
It's got to be.
I
'cause
always
it-
just saw it as a one word now and later.
Wait, you didn't realize it's now and
Never.
later?
Not one
You
time
thought it
in
was
my
like
life.
a fictional word, a
Yes.
made-up word. Now and later.
Yes, like a lightsaber.
Now and later.
Now and later.
Right, you thought it was now and later.
No, I thought it was now and later.
Like now and later, like not
Like,
now and later.
Never
but
thought
like,
that until this second. No joke.
Like you thought it was like NOW.
I never. I didn't read the spelling, obviously.
Right, obviously.
Obviously, I didn't read the spelling.
4 minutes.
Obviously, I didn't take the time
Wrap this
to
shit
read the
up.
spelling
This
of it
is
now and
getting out
later.
of control.
Oh my God.
This is unhinged.
It's like, reminds me of the time when I drove by Planned Parenthood and I went, planned? I thought it was plant. See, because I don't read or look anything up. Okay, dilator.
You thought it was Planned Parenthood?
Yes, I did. I did until I was 19, until I drove by one. I went, oh, Planned Parenthood? Oh, is it planned? That makes so much sense. Plant.
Well, I don't think it was actually planned either.
It's not. It's unplanned parenthood.
But it's certainly not plant.
Yeah, why? Yeah,
That's,
definitely not
it's
plant.
certainly not plant.
Definitely not.
Planned
Or a
Parenthood.
lab
What did you
top.
think went on in there? Did you know what went on in Planned Parenthood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard of it
All right. And still you thought, yeah, it's plant.
because I didn't read.
You thought maybe they were doing abortions and selling orchids? Like, what did you think was
I thought
going
they were
on in there?
aborting orchids.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Or giving plants parents.
Or giving parents plants?
Oh, that's a nice thing.
Is
This
that
the
what you
place
thought
that
went on
you
in there?
Gift parents plants.
Planned Parenthood. We
Give
give
your parent
parent a plant.
Give your parrot a plant.
Now they're parrots?
Give your
Did you think it was
Parrot.
Planned Parenthood? Is that what you thought it was
plant.
called?
I thought it was plant parenthood.
Okay.
Where parrots learn how to become parents in the hood.
Got it. That's
Have you
what
ever thought about a parrot giving their parents a plant in the hood? Think about a parrot giving their parents plants in the hood.
I think you need more sleep. I think you haven't slept enough. And it's showing.
I would watch that cartoon while eating now and
That's our
laters.
pitch to Amy Poehler.
Parrots
Yeah.
talking to their parents. And
Call
they're like, you know what?
her.
You've been a good parent to me. I'm going to get you a plant in the hood.
Yes.
Call
that's the
her.
show. That's the show.
called
We need to pitch it to Amy
Plant
Poehler.
parenthood.
It's called Plant Parenthood. Okay. Hear us out, Amy.
Hear us out.
Hear us out, right? It's about a mischievous parrot, right?
It's just out on the town from the hood.
From the hood, of course.
Duh hood.
The hood, yes. This was really fun and enjoyable. Hated it. I hated it.
Not for me.
I hated it.
I'm now aware that I don't
Honestly.
read contracts and that something worse is even going to happen because I'm not willing to fix it.
Dude, stop.
I had to relive my birth story again.
But was that good to talk about it?
Yeah.
And to know you're not alone. Like, I had a similar one. So many women out there have had similar
Oh,
ones. I'm
yeah.
Like, tell us your birth story in the comments.
Oh my
Just
God.
one paragraph.
It makes me feel better when I hear other people's birth stories and when I get to share mine because they're all so different.
But if it was a good one, keep it to yourself.
yeah, if you did
Keep
it at the
yourself.
front
Keep
door
it to
in
yourself.
5 seconds,
I don't
want
want to
to
hear
about it.
I don't want to hear it.
I actually don't.
I don't
need
want to hear it.
and I think it's rude
I don't
that
want
you're
to hear
telling it.
But if you've had a traumatic birth, drop it in the comments.
I want to hear about your traumatic birth. It makes us feel connected.
The more pain you were in, the more we encourage you to
I
write
still
about
wanted
it.
to finish about the dilator.
Oh, quick. You have 3 minutes. Go.
I don't. It's not
Come
my
on.
story. It's your story.
Oh,
You had
okay.
the
So
dilator.
basically,
And then eventually,
Yeah.
Stevens was able to go back in.
Yes.
Enough dilators
they started with a small dilator and then they would up it in size each week.
in like a doctor's office.
Yes. And she'd be like, is that nice?
What kind of like a
You like that?
alternative
She'd be like,
medicine?
"You like it?"
Did you get off?
Not at all.
Oh,
no.
'cause you're not-
It was not sexual. It was very scary.
Can you believe you and I have never been to the club?
The what?
The club.
What's that?
The club.
Oh,
Dance
my
club.
God. We need
There's
to.
a lot we haven't done.
Can
you
we?
believe that?
Can we
Think
do
about
that?
it. Think
Well, 'cause
about the
we met
things
each
we
other-
haven't done.
Because we met each other
We've never been
sober.
high together.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Oh God, man.
We've never
Man,
we've never gone to a theme park.
never been to a theme park.
We've never been to
The club
the club.
ever.
Never been to on a trip. We've never even had a sleepover.
Should we start with a sleepover or the club?
We're not dating.
What should we start? Weekend getaway or what are we thinking?
No, I just think it's fantastic that we haven't had to like produce fun, that it just is actually more fun than a lot of those things would be with the wrong person.
Yeah, we don't actually do anything together.
We don't hang out.
We go and we eat food together and talk and film stuff. That's our relationship.
That's enough for me.
Sometimes meetings. We go to recovery meetings sometimes.
Twice.
Sometimes. Twice? Yeah, not really.
Maybe
Not
3
really.
times.
I
In
mean,
2019, you and Steven did come with Alfie, and you were there for me when I was going through the non-trauma. It was really sweet.
wait, I don't remember that.
Great.
Like that
you
was
were.
the most
I was going
meaningful.
through
I
the
don't know.
marriage thing, and you were like, "I'll meet you at a meeting, and you can meet Alfie." And then you and Steven were talking to me through my marriage
Gosh,
stuff. It was really
yes,
nice.
Vaguely.
It's okay. You were
Vaguely.
in pregnancy brain at that point.
Vaguely, I remember. Dude, we have so many similarities. It's absolutely crazy.
It's just crazy.
No, but it's weird.
Do you want to name them off?
We were born on the same day of the.
We were both born on the
We were
22nd.
both born on the 22nd.
We both had our fathers had a Chrysler Sebring that was green.
Yep, a green Chrysler
convertible.
Sebring and alcoholics.
No convertible. Both, yeah, dads are alcoholics. Oh, we're both
Alcoholics. In recovery.
in recovery.
We both have. This one's the trippiest. Ex-husbands with the same exact first and last name.
Which
with the
gives
same
away.
and spelling.
Yeah.
But it's weird because the name of my ex isn't actually his real
But you don't need to say
last
it.
name. No.
And my ex isn't Stephen Hilton.
Their
But there's the
their
same
birth
name.
names are the
Their
exact
birth
same.
names, yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
We
exact.
both got married to addicts.
Yes.
We both
We both started.
got in recovery around the same time. We both do comedy.
We both have the same career.
both have the same sense of humor.
Basically
I forgot about that
had the
part.
same career, started in traditional auditioning, then moved to social media.
We both care
making
about
videos.
mindset and manifestation.
Manifestation.
Didn't we both? I don't know. Idiot's the name. That was like my
I call myself an idiot. You
Yeah.
call yourself an idiot. We're both
completely,
idiots.
both complete idiots.
There's just a lot.
there
a
was
lot
a few
of,
other ones. That's all we can think of at the top of
There's
our
like
head.
a lot of stuff that's very similar. We got sober around the same time too.
Like 6 months apart.
Yeah.
What was your date?
October 29th.
Wow. Mine was January 28th, 2012. Like 4 months after you.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And then it
Oh my
changed our
god.
life.
And now the
we
guys
both have
we're
kids.
with
We have
now,
the same birth story.
The guys are with now are the same age too.
And they're both really similar in their energy.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Anything else you want to...
Did you have braces?
No, clearly. But I have Invisalign now.
We'll cut
so
that
I'm trying
out
to
because it doesn't align with the story.
I'm trying to straighten them
Okay.
a little bit now.
Braces later. We both loved Tony Robbins.
Oh yeah, we both love Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he sounds like Satan.
10 minutes a day to save your life.
Hours of power.
15
If you guys
minutes
are
to
gonna-
drive. Mindset.
Yeah, but don't repeat that. Because your brain's always listening.
Stop with the self-limiting beliefs.
Have you gone to even one of his seminars?
No,
Come
but
on,
I watch
that's what
his
we should do
videos.
together. You're gonna love them.
Are you serious?
So amazing.
I feel like that's
There's
so
so
intense.
much.
Because they're like 12 hours long.
No, don't worry about
Get me
that.
out of there.
Like, no, you have energy. Your energy shoots up, and you realize, oh my god, I have abundant energy that I didn't even realize I had. And this is like, it's like, talk about the best feeling in the world. That's
Can we film sketches there though?
sure.
All right.
Of course, we can do whatever we want.
Then I'll go. Then I'll
We can
go.
do anything.
All right. What else? You want to end with anything? Congratulations on the birth.
Thanks. So happy it happened. I will say that the good news is
Yeah. What do
the
you
birth
like?
happens, it's done, and
Yeah.
then you have this beautiful thing that you've never loved more. And the heart, like the good news is he's healthy. I love him so much. I didn't know I could love something like this, and I can't imagine it getting even more, but I think it can because I didn't imagine I can have this much love. And it feels like this is the reason why I'm on the planet, is to be this boy's mom.
Oh.
And my purpose has felt fulfilled in many ways.
Oh. Finally something sweet.
And everything I worked up until feels like it's been of service to be a good mother. Like all the hard work I've done and all the pain I've gone through has led me to this point so that I could be a good mother.
Whoa.
Yeah. Love this. So I could leave the earth better than when I found it by instilling all the good juju into this kid. And
Wow.
the other part is that had we not given birth and felt that much pain, we wouldn't be aware of how strong we are. And God, the universe, wanted us to know that we can do anything because
you
look what we-
overcame that.
you can do childbirth, you can act. There's nothing. What else can? There's nothing to me that's more intense or painful as that, physically and mentally, emotionally. It hits all the pain points.
Oh yeah. In every way. And you overcame that.
Unless you had it at the front door in 15 seconds, then you don't really.
Just don't even.
You matter. You're great and good job. That's
yeah,
great.
good job.
But
Yeah. I think that's not most people's experience. But even that's probably hard in different ways. I hear really fast
Sure.
births are super scary because it's really intense, really fast, and they also feel like they're going to die probably a million times in like that short period of
Totally.
time, and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, and then they're having it in a hallway, and that's scary too because you don't have professionals around. So I'm sure like that's also traumatizing in its own way too. The fast birth. Nah, no, fuck you guys. Okay, well, thank you for coming on and sharing and being vulnerable. Dude, I love what you said about in that last bit.
Yeah,
That was
that's
actually
the
not-
overtone. But we talked a lot about the hard parts today.
Yeah.
But that's not the general walk away. I'm not going to carry that into my day and bring it to my child. Like the overtone is the gratitude and love and the amount of abundance that love is always. There's so much of it that we haven't even tapped into. The heart is always. It can go deeper and deeper and deeper. It's always overflowing.
Dude, and
love.
I know, and that baby really helps you realize that.
And you don't
That
know what
love
you don't
is
know until you know it. So we just don't know what we don't know. Like I didn't know until I did it, and other people would tell me, and I can't know it until I have that experience. And that's why experiential learning is the best kind.
Let me ask you
to
this.
go through it.
Let me ask you this. You said during the labor that you were screaming to Johnny that you'll never have another baby again. How do you feel now?
I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, you forget what because it's 24 hours of pain versus the something you love more than anything. And the idea of having a family, like I have to look at the long game of like, I do want to have at least one more, and I would like to experience
But
that.
I bet you were so certain in
I
that
was really
moment
certain.
you were done.
Yeah, and I was also certain I will never get married again. Absolutely not.
Whoa.
I will not fall for this
Really?
trap. It's a lie. It doesn't guarantee anything. And now I'm engaged and happily getting married again.
Because you're choosing to open up your heart and
Yeah,
your
because
vag
the universe
again.
doesn't want us to be closed like that. And my vagina. I'll open it again in like a few weeks. For one man. Wow. But no one else.
That's incredible
Sorry.
and inspiring.
Unless we break up. In which case,
Jesus, man. This looks like ending on such a wholesome note. Unless we break up, you
then
know?
I'll be open to someone else. But
Jesus.
I'm just saying, if that happens, I'm not going to be like, then I'm done. If Johnny does what my ex
If Johnny
does,
doesn't get you flowers next Valentine's Day, look,
we're done.
we are done.
I made it clear.
I have a Tinder backup
It's
already.
fully picturized and filled out.
I can tell you've never used an app either because you say picturized.
You know, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Dating app?
I was on Bumble in New York. Oh my God. Like a lunatic.
How long were you
And people
on
are like,
it?
you don't
Did
care?
you
And I'm
find
like,
it, was it
who cares?
addictive?
Yeah.
How long were you on it?
A few weeks.
How many dates?
Well, in New York, I really only went on 2, and then the second one ended up being like a guy that I was seeing, a firefighter, for like a month or 2.
That's hot.
It was adorable.
Firefighter?
He was great. And then I was like, I can't be with you anymore. I met the guy I'm going to marry, who I never actually met in person, but we can't be together anymore. And he was like, oh man. And he was so sweet. And I really should have just stayed with him. But instead I went with someone that I'd never met in person, who ended up conning me into a sham marriage.
Get man
That's on me. You know what I mean? That's on me.
That's that
I didn't
impulsivity thing again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where am I responsible? I could have paused. I could have went into like really listened to my body and been like, you know what? Let's take it really slow. I didn't do enough research. Why rush into a marriage? I don't know you yet. That's on me.
Big lesson, and you didn't do that with Johnny. You didn't rush in.
No,
you did
dude.
not.
We
You
got engaged after 4 years.
It's amazing.
And if he
That's
said, I'll
smart.
wait another 10 years, I'd be like, fine. Like, I don't care to rush.
Wow. So you learned your lesson there.
There I did, yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
God was like, and I'm like, okay, I get it. That's where that Oprah, whatever her name is, Oprah.
Yeah, that
Oprah?
Oprana, I think. It's
Obrana?
Yeah.
That's a pretty name, Obrana.
I know. I know.
Oprana.
She's great. You should YouTube her.
O.B. Rana.
Yeah, I think she has videos on YouTube. All right, let's go
And
eat.
YouTube is,
You want to eat? It's like YouTube is like, it's like where, how would you describe it? Basically, people can like upload videos and you can just watch it like on your phone. Did you know your phone?
And a phone.
Do you know your phone has a camera?
Stop.
No, seriously, you can take pictures of it.
A phone's a phone. You call your
No,
friends.
I'm telling you, you can take pictures. And
Okay,
you
yeah.
can take pictures and you can take
and
videos.
then you send them somewhere
Yeah,
by telegram. Planned Parenthood.
I gotta cut this. I gotta end
We
this.
have to end this.
I gotta end
Okay,
this
it's
'cause
over.
I can't.
Thank you for subscribing.
Like literally, they
Follow
didn't.
me
They're
though.
not going to.
Also, this isn't just Laura. I have a channel on
Follow Manon.
YouTube.
Yeah,
that has-
whatever that
that
is.
has 3 views. Okay,
Manon-
I need
Manon
to up my numbers.
Manon
This
Matthews.
is the only reason I come here is to up my
It's
numbers.
true.
I don't
It's true.
care.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. I pay her to be here. She doesn't want me here.
The sandwiches.
Sandwiches? Yeah, not in cash. I don't have any money
All right.
because I spent it all on the birth.
Oh man, how much?
Well, like 6,500
Oh.
plus the epidural's like a few thousand.
No. Okay, we're gonna
Does
do.
that not make you sick?
I'm sick. Yeah, I'm sick.
Like when if I would have
I'm
just
sick.
picked a different insurance with a little bit of a higher premium, it would be $300 a night.
these are
That is the mistake
of not
of
reading.
not reading or asking for help. And now it comes out of whose pocket? Johnny's not going to pay for that.
Wow.
I pay for that.
Dude, Manon. If this isn't I shouldn't laugh, but you just look so angry and it's funny. Wait, but because you're gonna be okay. Like you're gonna be okay. But holy but this is the lesson and you're learning it. Feel it. Feel the pain of it. And you're not gonna do it again. You're gonna read the fine print and you're gonna ask for help from now on.
I think that can.
Remember what Oprana said and don't forget.
Obrana on YouTube.
Yes. I'm going to send you the clip. It's okay. These are just lessons. At the end of the day, you're healthy, your baby's healthy. You know?
This is just not what I saved my money for.
No, it's not. But it is what it is. So let's not resist the reality of what is. And let's go, okay, I learned my lesson here. Trust me, I've made colossal mistakes.
Here's what I'd love to call in. Somehow, I sign up for a new insurance and say this was an emergency and can we back order it on new insurance?
Try that.
Yeah.
Try that.
I'm gonna
And ask
research
for
that.
help.
I'm going to research that today.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to text you at 8 p.m. accountability buddy that I read it.
Do it. That's a great idea. Do that. 8 p.m. And if
You're
you
not going to
don't,
block me?
well, if you don't text me by
bothering
8
you?
p.m., I will block you.
No.
That's the ultimatum. If you don't do it, the friendship's over. Yeah. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. or you're vapor to me.
That would
Dead.
You could make me do anything if that's what you threatened.
That's what I'm
If you
saying.
threaten to take Laura out of my life,
That's what
I'll
I'm
do
saying.
f***ing anything.
That's what I'm saying.
I
All
will
you have to-
murder my paper source.
Yeah.
Murder my paper source.
Yes.
I would throw it all away. You could get me to do anything.
That's
if
what
you
I'm saying.
threaten to take away your
Friendship's
friendship.
gonna end. This is healthy, right?
Honestly, who cares? It's motivation.
You know what I mean? A little trauma there, a little
Can you
fear driven by fear.
Can you also threaten if I eat cookies
Your life?
not to
Okay, sorry.
like sugar? Sugar?
Yes, I can do that.
Just today though.
Let's go
just
eat
don't
some
eat
sugar
cookies.
though now.
Aww.
Pizza? Can you have pizza?
What? Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. All right, bye. Bye. See ya.
Thank you for having me. I
Subscribe,
love you very
like the
much.
video.
You don't actually have to. I was all a joke. You don't have to do anything.
What? Shut up. Yeah, they do.
They don't have to do it.
They don't
I'm just
have
happy to be
do anything you
here.
want.
I'm just
Oh my God, you're relatable.
Laura's really generous.
I
You're a really
am,
good friend.
right?
And I love you very
I'm
much.
really nice.
You're so nice.
Do you think I'm a
kind.
good friend?
You're
I feel
an
like I could be a
amazing
better friend.
No, you're amazing.
Really?
Well, how could you be better?
Like I just feel sometimes I get wrapped up in my own.
So
and
does everybody.
Okay. All right.
Could I be a better friend?
Yes.
Probably.
So-
In what
Boo.
way?
Every.
I should probably write more sketches for us.
No, I don't mind.
You don't?
No, I like it. I'm pissed that you didn't even read my sketch.
Yeah, I didn't.
Let's go read it. Let's go read it now. Bye. This is ending. Cut. Cut. Cut.